Right, we have the Mark V Golf again, Volkswagen Golf. We're doing a rear wheel bearing, Mark V 2008. They'll all be the same, whether it's a petrol or a diesel. We're going to attempt a wheel bearing. I've never actually done one of these before. On a Mark V Golf, so we're going to find how bad they are. The cap, to get to the bolt in the middle, it's like a bolt that holds. This is the new one, so we know what we're sort of dealing with. The bolt in the middle is an M18, which you probably won't find in your typical Halford set or any old tool set, so you'll have to buy that specially anyway for this kind of a job. And we're going to need the breaker bar for that. It's pretty tight. But anyway, we need to take the caliper off, so we can do that. 13mm bolts at the back. It needs kind of counter holding with a 15. These are all the same across all the range. Golfs, Polos, Audis. They all have this kind of a setup with the aluminium caliper with a 30mm bolt. Unless of course it's the electronic handbrake models. And then probably rather give it to somebody else rather than do it yourself, because they're a pain in the backside. Same again at the bottom. If you don't counter hold them, you'll just be winding forever. Get the caliper out of the way. Disc will come off. Pads look pretty good. It's had new back brakes on this quite recently, so they'll be going back on. The disc usually does come out without having to remove the carrier. Spigot ring for the alloy wheels, which you had on. Binding a bit, I can go back on. Yeah, so disc typically does slot out, so you don't have to worry too much about getting that off. Right, looks like they're pressed on or pulled on just with a bolt, hopefully for us. I'll get a breaker bar, see if we can put a bit more torque on that. Part 2. Right, so we've got a breaker bar on it. Obviously I'll give you a demonstration of what a bad wheel bearing sounds like, if we can get the sound alright. That shouldn't have any noise, if you can hear any noise there. That should be absolutely silent, so we know, confirm it's definitely needs changing, it's dead. That damp will have probably got in or something. That is pretty tight, but by the looks of the new bolt, it looks like it's got a thread lock compound on it, so I'm not surprised really. They're not meant to come off easily. You might be able to manage that with your normal breaker bar, or extend it with a bit of bar or something. Took a while, but obviously it's not a tight fit, it's just a pull on push off job, which is brilliant. So if you do want to persevere and wind that out by hand rather than using your impact wrench, at least you know you're not having to go any further than that. It should be a nice easy job. That's good. we'll use a new bolt, which will have fresh thread lock on it. I don't know if there's anything to be gained from greasing that. It's not supposed to spin on that anyway, so probably as long as it's clean, you're all right. It doesn't actually spin there, it's the bearing itself that spins inside. So there's the new one. Just make sure your ABS sensor's nice and clean. There's no metal debris on it. Can interfere with the signal it gets. Make sure your ABS ring's nice and clean on your new part. These are typically about 20 quid, 20 pounds, English pounds. So they're not too expensive. So if you've got, like I say, just the tools to do it, 20 quid, it's a nice quick repair. I did say that should be quiet. That doesn't sound particularly good. We haven't bought the best replacement parts, so let's just hope it's not noisy when we drive it. Maybe just because it's spinning on the inside and it's not seated yet. We'll get it seated in a second. We'll see how noisy it is. That's a good amount of torque on that. Yeah, there you go. So it was just spinning on the centre shaft. It should be absolutely silent like that. So that's good. Sorted. Just a case of putting everything back on again. Discs, caliper, nip everything back up. Easy job. Quick and simple. Probably taken us, what, 10 minutes, if that. So garage would probably quote that at about half an hour job, just because they can. So depending on what you're paying for the hourly rate, some places charging like nearly 100 quid an hour now. Dealerships and the like. It's a good opportunity to clean the pads up, make sure everything's freely working, but if they're free moving, I don't see any reason why we want to get too involved with them. Probably put them back in the same position they came out of. You can see there's a bit of an indent from the caliper. Shouldn't need to rewind the tool back in, it's just a case of going back to the same position. Nice quick and easy. There is a bit of resistance on these because they've got springs on the back of the pad to keep them seated correctly, so you might need to just put a little bit of sort of oomph behind it. It'll take a little bit to line up. I'm just spending a lot of time on these. There we go. First one's in. Stiff. Come on, there you go. Right, so again you need to probably counterfold these unless they're completely free. Not too tight, only a little bolt. Don't go crazy. If you can imagine the tension it took to get it off, it'll be about the same back on again. And that's it, wheel back on. We're all sound, sorted.